So I think a conversation could be had in most trans women's lives as to what it means to be trans as a whole, who we are, where we come from, et cetera, et cetera. But more importantly, what we've been through. And the narratives placed on us as trans women. I feel as if, and not just trans women, but anyone can have these conversations, but me specifically speaking right here, right now, in this moment, I'm speaking to and for trans women just because it is who I am, So, the conversation of, the narratives of trans, who we are, what we are about, I definitely feel something that needs to be talked about, especially with a lot of the mental health issues that are going around and that is coming to the surface. It is very important to have these conversations so that it can help others. And I'm making this video. Anyone who knows me or anyone who's watching my videos knows that anything I bring to my YouTube channel is something that I am either going through, overcome, or pretty much battling, or something that, I resonate with, or I have, experienced in a way where I feel as if I can help someone else just by speaking, and this is something that I definitely have an issue with, certain questions, about trans women, about myself, and just about our journey as a whole and what we've been through. Questions, like one of the burning questions I have is, why do women like myself feel as if it's more prominent in order to give ourselves away in order to be successful or to gain the things that we want, and actually going out and, working for them, or making a modest, or doing it in a modest, not even in a modest way, but doing it in a way where there is morals involved? Why are women like myself subject to, situations where we are not seen, where we are not heard, where we are not so much protected, but we are not cared for like anyone else, questions like, why are women like me shunned as opposed to, by our families, as opposed to being accepted, while, the child molesters, the rapers, are the ones that are protected, from our mothers, from our grandmothers, from our fathers, from our uncles, and from our aunts. Burning questions that I feel definitely need to be discussed, that are not discussed, and that do not be discussed, not just in... I want to start with tackling the conversation of why many trans women are sex workers, to be pretty blunt, and this is just my own personal opinion. First and foremost, before I go on, this is just my own personal opinion. Nothing that I say is to influence you or move you in such a way where you feel as if you have to get up off your ass and stop doing whatever it is that you're doing that is working for you. If it works for you, hey. But there are certain questions that I want to ask in order to get a conversation started in someone else's mindset. I like to say that my videos are pretty much simply placed like this. As a trans woman, when I was coming up, I had no idea, no understanding, no guidance. I've stated this several times. If I had one person telling me or insisting or influencing me or giving me advice on how to move, in ways to love myself, in ways to protect myself, in ways to honor myself, in ways to believe in myself, then I would not have went through the things that I probably have went through. However, I'm a firm believer that life doesn't happen to you but for you. I believe that I went through every single thing that I went through so that I could be sitting here in this moment to help someone else. So always remember that you have the ABCs of life. Always be choosing to do whatever it is that makes you happy, whatever it is that makes you feel free, whatever it is that makes you feel like the best version of you. This is just an opinion, okay? Remember that. Live it. I say this because I haven't met a trans woman yet who hasn't dibbled and dabbled, Hell, I'm gonna be honest, including my damn self. I haven't met anyone, any trans woman who doesn't have a great experience, especially I just made 29 on the 2nd, so especially when you get to the age that I'm at, there's always some stories, there's always some bull, there's always some reason as to why women like myself are subject to sex working. And I want to take it deeper than, just being a quick, easy fix. I honestly, and this is just my own personal opinion in from my own personal experience, honestly believe that it's a lot easier for trans women to be sex workers as opposed to being a regular 9 to 5 or a regular citizen in this world, as what you would call a regular citizen, because we are so shunned, because we are so, we are such a fantasy that many people do refuse to see us, whether that's included in the workplace, that's included even in your own home, your own family setting. So it's a lot easier for a trans woman to feel as if she's going to get some monetary value out of a sexual moment. And I want to tackle this because I think it's not, I know it's very dangerous, number one, to involve yourself in sex working, number one, not just because of the diseases that's going around in this world today, but because of the dangers of the individuals that we are engaging with. And I say this every single time I make a video. Down low guys are just not it. They are not what you would want to engage with. You see fit, you move how you see fit, you move how you'd want to move. But just me, my own personal opinion, is very dangerous. And these are the guys who are attracted to sex workers. These are the married guys. These are the guys who have children in their teens and a little bit older. These are the guys who've established themselves so far where they have to keep this parts of themselves a secret. And putting yourself in a position where you're engaging with someone like that, if they were to lose all of this because of the secret coming out, and you're at the forefront of that secret, it can be very detrimental to you. And I've said this before, and so I don't need to say it again. But I think it's a lot easier because, from my own personal experience, we are shunned in workplaces. We are shunned by our bosses. We are looked at funny. We are ridiculed. We are mocked. And we are put at the very bottom of the totem pole when it comes to going out and making an honest living for ourselves. And so I can definitely understand why many women who are trans do regulate themselves to becoming sex work. It's also harder when you are coming up as a young adolescent and you don't have any idea, you don't have any understanding, you don't have the confidence or the belief that you can go out in this world and actually make something of yourself being a trans individual. I think that starts at home with having conversations with anyone, that's willing to be open and understanding of, who you are in your situation. I think that conversation starts when you are a little bit younger, where you can, that is a time, it's never too late to grow your confidence. It's never too late to stand in who you are. It's never too late to believe in you, what you can do, who you can be. However, I personally believe that if I could have started this shit a long time ago, maybe when I was, preteens, younger, probably, because I was putting shirts on my head when I was, under 10. I feel like it could have helped me be a little bit more farther advanced, as far as I would have had more confidence to live in my truth a long time ago, when I was younger, probably high school days, probably high school years. But I didn't have that confidence, and that was because I didn't have an idea. I didn't know, what it was meant to be trans. I didn't know, the beautiful side of being trans. I only knew the scary parts of it. I only knew that the world would shun me and that I believed that the world would shun me. I believed that I wouldn't be successful. I believed that I wouldn't be able to go out and do this, do that, have that, meet this person, engage with this person, and just do some of the things that I've done at 29, I didn't believe was possible for me until I myself created that belief for myself, because no one else gave me that, and so getting that little bit of confidence, that little boost of, you can do it, that boost of just do it, that boost of you can be, you will be, and you will accomplish whatever it is that you set your mind to. Getting that boost when you are, in a more adolescent stage is definitely helpful. However, if you do not have that, if you are someone who is struggling with trying to find that boost, if you are someone who is having complications believing that you are important, that you can go out and be who you want to be, you have to know that for yourself first. No one else can make you believe it. You have to believe it for you, and I think that's where the power and the strength of who you are really does come into play. Because if you are someone who is struggling with the belief that you are great, if you are someone who is struggling with the belief that you can be and you will become every single thing that you've destined to be, if you are someone who is struggling with this and you have no one to depend on, no one to support you, you have to know that you are doing this solely for you. You are starting a new legacy and you are building something new so that you can help guide others to believe in the same thing. I'm telling you now, it's not easy and it's not fun trying to uplift others and yourself at the same time, but it's completely worth it. Beautiful. Okay? This is beautiful. Being black and gay is a whammy. Being black, gay, and trans is a triple whammy, And for me, I don't know about any other nationalities or any other races, how they handle it. But for me, I never understood the concept of how, an individual would shun someone like myself, but protect, the rapist, protect the murderers, protect the thieves, protect the one in the family doing all of these crazy things. And I say this because as trans, we don't get a lot of support from the people who we should be getting it from, or we think we should be getting it from. Always remember this. It's not about the family that you're born into. It's about the family that you go out into this world and create and coexist with, okay? You could be born into a bloodline that is so pure, but you will be the black sheep of the family and everyone will completely outcast you and you'll feel completely left out. And I had to learn this the hard way, 29 years of living, knowing that I was kind, sweet, loving to people who weren't really the same to me, overstanding the fact that there were instances, where I watched my siblings be, praised for absolutely nothing, or maybe it was something for them, while all of the accomplishments that I made are still to go unnoticed, by relatives, by people that I thought I were closer to than, but let me say this. I said that it's not about the family that you're born into, it's about the family that you create. And that's very true. Many of us are not supported. Many of us are not believed in from outside sources. Many of us aren't given the same respect that our siblings, our other loved ones are given from family, our friends, etc., whatever it is. I'm saying this because when you are battling issues within yourself to overcome yourself, when you're trying to be the best version of yourself, you'll have moments where you feel alone, where you feel weak, where you feel like you don't have anyone to talk to. And I'm bringing this up because recently I had a birthday, right? And I literally only talked to like 4 different people on my birthday. And I spent my birthday wondering why I was so upset that I didn't hear from people who didn't really matter. I spent my birthday going back and forth between I'm okay and I'm not okay. I spent my birthday going back and forth with overstanding if I was accepting less, or not even overstanding. I spent my birthday overstanding that I had accepted less for 29 years. And the assumption for me was because I was trans. There was no other way, kind, loving, sweet, giving, give you the shirt off my back, literally give you a fucking roof over your head, literally do all of these things, and no recognition, right? Recognition is only needed for those who can't stand on their own. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you come from. I don't care what you got going on in life. As long as you are moving in accordance to you, as long as you are doing what it is that you want to do, you don't need to be recognized by anyone. If you know that you are doing the right thing, if you know that you are loving, if you know that you are supporting, if you know that you are believing, if you know that you are uplifting others, including yourself, you don't need to be recognized for anything. You're already recognized by the universe. You're already recognized by God, creator, source, whoever it is that you believe in. You're recognized every single morning that you're given the gift of life. So know that, understand it, it won't be easy to accept it and or see it, but once you are able to really just take that message in, and if you take the message in, if you choose to take the message in, once you're able to take that message in and actually let it sit with you and believe it in yourself, then you'll really, the need for someone to text you, pick up the phone, or call you, check up and see how you're doing, it all goes out the window. The need to be shown off on social media by your family members, by your friends, by your peers, it goes out of the window. The need to be accepted, the need to be loved by anything outside of yourself, it goes out the window. Because you realize that all you really need. So I'm going to be like 100% completely honest. I started my YouTube videos. I'm not sure if I said this before. I started this whole YouTube channel, and if you are someone who battles mental health, if you are someone who battles depression, if you are someone who feels alone, start a podcast, start a YouTube channel. Do something creative that puts you at the forefront. Do something that gets you seen. Do something that puts your voice out there. Do something that can help you build your confidence. I promise you it will help you. I started my YouTube channel, and there's a whole reason. I started my YouTube channel in 2019, deleted a lot of videos in the hopes to be seen by, not several individuals, but one individual. And at the time, this was just me being gullible, me being, not loving myself and not accepting myself. And through everything that I went through since 2019 and now, I can honestly say that anything you do for someone outside of yourself will not be worth it. Whether it's loving someone too much, whether it's supporting someone too much, whether it's giving yourself away to someone outside of you, anything that you do in regards to helping someone else that takes away from you is detrimental not only to you physically, but it's detrimental to you spiritually and mentally. As trans women, we are already seen as a dark horse, whatever it is, however you want to see us, however you see yourself, however you see the world that sees you, do not let the world define you. Do not let the narratives of the world make you feel as if that is what you have to be or what you will become. The world will tell you that you are not good enough. The world will tell you that you don't deserve it. The world will tell you that that you just don't belong. And the world is lying to you. There is a place for every single person on this earth, and you have to find your spot. You have to find your spot, and you have to stand in it. You have to know your role. You have to literally know your role and stand in it. And don't let anyone push you and or sway from what it is that you want to do or who you want to be. Overstand this, and please overstand this. If you don't take anything from me, please take this message from me. You have one life to live. The life is yours. It's not for anyone else. It's not for anyone else. And I'm saying this because it was something that I had to tell myself. I literally had to tell myself that I am a tree of life and that people will come and go, but I still stand tall every single season. In every single season, I die. But every single season, I am re-fucking-born, just like you. So, with that being said, always remember to be choosing to be the best version of you, to accept you, to love you, no matter who shows up, no matter who's looking, no matter who hates you, no matter who stands against you. Know that you are a tree. You'll die 1,000 times, but you'll be reborn again. And I mean that mentally, spiritually, not physically, Because if you're physically dying, you aren't here. And understand that if anyone has any negative wishes, ill wishes, harm, anything, send it right back to that ass. Clearly wrapped my hair up and stuff, was getting ready for bed, but I forgot I wanted to do this. I had got a question from someone who asked me, how do you do your YouTube videos, or, just how do you get over your ego in order to start something? Whatever it is that you want to start, how do you overcome yourself in order to start it? And I just want to give anyone who is battling themselves in order to start something, and give you a little bit of advice, all right? So, in this video, of course, if you haven't, in this video, I talk about, how I started my YouTube channel. I talked about why I started my YouTube channel, or my videos. But as far as how I go about doing it, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I told you why I started it. I don't review my YouTube videos. Like, I will literally post, clip, go, point blank in the period. And that's just me personally. Like, I could probably review my YouTube videos, which would probably make for a better content. But I'm not here to make content that's engaging for your eyes. I'm trying to make content that's engaging for your ears and your mental health. So everything that I do on YouTube is meant in order to help someone literally become the best version of themselves, and that has nothing to do with my physical appearance. And so, no, I don't come on here with the best quality content. No, I don't come on here trying to make things look a certain way. I come on here just so that the message that I'm speaking can be heard, and not only heard, but felt. It's one thing to hear the messages, but in order to feel them, that's what I really want. It says someone to feel them. And so far, I feel like I've done that. Not so far, I know I've done that, so I must be doing something right. Second thing for me is I know exactly who my audience is, and I know exactly what it is that I want to talk about. I know that I want to help bring mental health awareness to a lot of trans individuals so that they do not have to go through the struggle of feeling alone, of feeling as if they have to go about living life a certain way, of doing things that are outlandish or that can bring harm not only to themselves but others. Because I promise you, no matter what, we may not like the people who are down low or who harm us, but these are people too who have feelings, who have emotions, who have families, who have a life and or existence. Not a life or existence, but they have a life and existence on earth. So I feel like my videos can not only help trans women, but people who are in the closet, trying to come out of the closet, but just all around. I know my target. I know exactly what it is that I want to talk about. I know exactly this how I want to talk about it. I know exactly the awareness that I'm trying to bring to the topic and or conversation. And I also know that when I bring these topic or conversations, it's not me just bringing them out of my ass. The only thing that I'm bringing is things that I've personally been through. I'm not talking about what anybody else has been through. I'm not talking about what anybody else is thinking about. I'm talking about what Anaya is thinking about, how Anaya wants to talk about it, the way Anaya wants to talk about it. I'm not thinking about anybody else but Anaya. I think the last thing is I just do it. It's hard to overcome yourself when you're sitting in front of it. Like, let's say you want to start YouTube, right? It's hard to overcome yourself when you just sit in front of the camera getting yourself together. Like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna say X, Y, and or Z, and I'm gonna move a certain way. You really have to not do that. Whether it's YouTube, whether it's podcasting, whether it's taking pictures, whether it's actually going outside of your house and moving in such a way where most people will not be normal of you moving in that way. Whatever it is, you just have to really do it, and you have to literally remove the thoughts. The thoughts are what's going to stop you from doing whatever it is that you want to do. It's not anyone, but the thoughts, Yes, someone can make a comment, someone can say something outlandish, someone can, literally that's about it. Say something outlandish. They're not going to do anything. They're going to say something outlandish, but so what? Once you get to a point in life where you really understand that anyone who is saying anything negative or harmful to you is not happy within themselves, does not love themselves, does not accept themselves, and they are literally only throwing and dishing out the hate that they have towards themselves onto you, then what are we doing? What are we doing? So those three things are like literally the best advice I can give you in my own way as to how you literally can get up and start something and go.